Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something really personal, a topic lots of people experience but maybe don't talk about much. But we think we found something pretty powerful, backed by solid science, that could honestly change things in the bedroom.
Exactly. It's a topic that often comes with, a fair bit of frustration, maybe embarrassment, but it affects so many men and their partners.
Hmm.
So our goal in this deep dive is to really cut through the noise, the myths, all that stuff, and give you clear, actionable steps based on research and real experience. We'll cover what it is, why it works, and most importantly, how you can actually do it.
And we're talking about potentially huge changes here. For male sexual stamina, for connection. Now, I get it. Some of you might be hearing this and thinking, okay, what is this? Some weird health fad. Vagina exercises for guys. And yeah, that's skepticism. Totally fair. But hold on, because the science behind this is surprisingly strong. We've looked at personal stories, actual medical studies, and detailed exercise guides for this deep dive. Let's start with a scenario that might sound familiar. And you've planned a nice evening, everything's leading up to intimacy, and then it's over really fast. One story we read put it at 90 seconds, maybe less. And it's not just like the time itself, it's the feeling afterward. That mortification, the frustration for both people. It can even lead to couples kind of avoiding sex altogether. It's not about the person, it's the situation.
Right. And what often gets missed is that for a lot of men, this isn't just mind over matter. We're often talking about premature ejaculation, PE, which clinically is ejaculating within about a minute of penetration. And the usual advice, thinking about baseball, breathing weirdly, those numbing creams, they often just don't work long term. They're like Band-Aids. They don't fix the underlying issue, which for many guys is actually physical, not just mental. Leaves them feeling kind of stuck.
Okay, so if thinking about your grocery list isn't the answer, what is? Is there something unexpected that the research points to? Something that actually tackles that physical side?
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting. It's pelvic floor muscle training. There was this really significant Italian study back in 2014 at La Pera et al. They took 40 men who had had lifelong PE. Remember, that's the under a minute kind. And the results were, well, pretty stunning. After 12 weeks of doing specific exercises, 82.5%, that's 33 of the 40 men, gained significant control. Their average time, they yelled, went from less than 60 seconds to, wait for it, 146.2 seconds on average.
Yeah.
More than double.
Wow, more than double. That's not just a little bit better. That's going from a clinical issue to basically normal function. That's life-changing stuff.
It really is. And it wasn't just a fluke study either. Other research, like a big review by Milios and Ackland in 2019, and trials by Cohen and others, they found similar success rates, like 55 to 83% effectiveness. So this isn't, snake oil. It's becoming recognized as a legitimate medical approach. Solid evidence behind it.
Okay, that's compelling. But the term pelvic floor, I think for a lot of guys, it's still a bit vague. We hear about Kegels for women after childbirth, maybe. But where exactly is our pelvic floor, and why is it the key here? Can you, break that down?
Yeah, good question. Because understanding this is crucial. Think of your pelvic floor as like a muscular hammock stretching across the bottom of your pelvis. It holds up your bladder, your bowel, and your sexual organs. But here's the key thing many men don't realize. Those muscles, they are directly involved in controlling ejaculation. Muscles like the bulbocavernosus and ischiocavernosus, they're essentially the brake and gas for ejaculation. They, along with others like the external anal sphincter, directly manage that reflex.
Huh. So it's less like trying to pinch a leaky hose shut and more like finding the actual control valve that you never knew you had proper control over.
That's a great way to put it, exactly. And why might these muscles be weak in men? It's not just about childbirth, obviously. Things like sitting for long hours, maybe not getting enough general exercise, chronic stress, even just getting older. These can all weaken the pelvic floor. And research actually shows men with PE often have measurably weaker pelvic floor muscles than guys with normal control. So it points strongly to a physical component. Strengthening them gives you back that physical control mechanism.
Right. Okay, that clicks. So say you're listening and you're thinking, all right, I'm in. How do I actually do these exercises? It sounds like it could be awkward, or maybe you end up just clenching your butt or something by mistake. How do you find the right muscles?
Yeah, that's the number one hurdle at the start. Finding the right spot without tensing everything else. Now, the classic advice is trying to stop your pee midstream. And okay, that can help you feel the muscles once or twice just for identification. But definitely don't practice that way regularly. It can mess with your bladder function. A better way, lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat, put one hand on your belly, one on your chest, keep those still. Now try to gently lift internally, like you're subtly lifting your testicles upwards, or maybe trying to stop yourself from passing gas. It's a small inward squeeze and lift. The main thing is isolation. You shouldn't feel your abs, butt, or thighs tightening. Your hands shouldn't move. It's subtle.
Subtle. Okay. And it sounds like patience is key here. Like maybe taking a week or two just to nail down that isolation before trying to do reps or holds, like one of the accounts we looked at mentioned.
Absolutely. Rushing this step is counterproductive. Get the feel first. Once you can reliably isolate those muscles, then you move on to a structured program. We generally recommend a 12-week plan, building up gradually, and consistency is huge. Maybe set reminders on your phone, treat it like any other workout, so weeks 1 and 2, you start gentle. Just hold that squeeze lift for 2 or 3 seconds, then relax completely for maybe 6 to 10 seconds, repeat that 10 times, do that whole set 3 times a day.
3 times a day. Okay. Consistency over intensity, especially at the start.
Totally. Then, weeks 3 and 4, you increase the hold time, aim for a 5-second hold, still relaxing for 6-10 seconds after. Same deal, 10 reps, 3 times a day. Weeks 5 and 6, you build up to a 10-second hold with a 10-second rest. 10 reps, 3 times a day. This is where you might start to feel those muscles working, maybe a bit of fatigue. That's normal. Weeks 7 and 8 is about peak intensity, aim for 15-second hold, and you start adding in quick flicks, basically, quick, rapid contractions and releases after your longer holds. And then weeks 9 through 12, you focus on maintaining that strength, but also, and this is crucial, functional training, practicing engaging those muscles during actual sexual activity. That's the real game changer.
Right. Taking it from the gym to the real world. So someone's been doing this diligently. What's that moment like when it clicks, when you're actually, in the moment? That personal story described feeling right on the edge, that point of no return looming, but then consciously squeezing those pelvic floor muscles hard, and the feeling just recedes. That sounds incredible.
It is. It's a feeling of regaining control that's, well, it's profound for many men. That shift from, uh-oh, here it comes, to, okay, I can manage this, and the impact. That account mentioned going from maybe 2-3 minutes to almost 8 minutes pretty quickly. It's not just about the clock, though. It's the quality of the experience. Anxiety drops, confidence grows. You can actually pull back from the brink, continue, focus on your partner. Imagine that feeling of empowerment.
Yeah, I really can. It changes the whole dynamic. But like learning any skill, there must be bumps in the road. What kind of challenges do people run into?
Oh, sure. It's not always a straight lineup. Muscle fatigue is common, especially around weeks 4 to 6 when the holds get longer. You might feel sore. The key is not to push through intense pain, but maybe ease off for a day, then rebuild. Inconsistency is another big one. Life gets busy, you miss a day or two. Trying to make up for it with a marathon session doesn't work as well as just getting back to steady daily practice. And then there's that functional application we talked about. Using the muscles when you're aroused and moving is different than lying still. It takes practice in different positions to really master it, and timing. Learning to engage the muscles at, say, 70 or 80% arousal before you hit that point of no return, that takes practice too.
Makes sense. Practice and awareness. And once you get good at the basics, are there more advanced things people can do or other benefits that pop up?
Yeah, definitely. You can start tailoring it, like practicing the holds in different sexual positions to build strength where you need it most. Some people experiment with rhythmic contractions, gentle pulses during sex, which can actually enhance sensation for both partners, or using quick squeeze and release pulses to quickly reset arousal if needed. And here's a cool bonus mini guys report. When they do decide to ejaculate, the orgasms are often stronger, more intense, maybe even last longer. Better hardware, better experience,
Oh, okay. Stronger orgasms too.
I-
That's quite the package deal. It really sounds like the benefits just keep unfolding well beyond just lasting longer. How does this impact the relationship itself and maybe even just a guy's general confidence?
It's huge for confidence. When you replace that anxiety and maybe unspoken apology with a feeling of control and presence, it changes how you show up. More assertive, more playful, more focused on connection. That mental space it frees up is incredible.
And I bet that changes communication too, right? Moving away from awkwardness or avoidance to actually being able to talk openly about what feels good, trying new things, exploring together, because time isn't this constant pressure anymore.
Precisely. The conversations can deepen. And beyond the bedroom, there are other health perks. Often, guys notice better bladder control, sometimes stronger erections because blood flow improves in the area, even better core stability and posture because these muscles are part of your core. Plus, the discipline of sticking to the exercises. That can sometimes spill over into other healthy habits too.
So what this really means for you listening is that when intimacy becomes more reliably fulfilling for both partners, it builds this amazing positive feedback loop. more desire, deeper connection, stronger relationship overall.
Now, I can still hear some listeners thinking, okay, this sounds almost too simple for a problem I've struggled with. But let's tackle that skepticism head on. If you wanted stronger arms, you'd lift weights, right? Your pelvic floor muscles are just muscles. They respond to training, it's physiology, and this idea that they're women's exercises, that's just cultural baggage. These muscles are vital for everyone's pelvic health, bladder, bowel, sex, the whole deal. Is it a time commitment? Yeah, I bet. Maybe 15, 20 minutes a day at peak training, then 5, 10 for maintenance. How much time do you spend scrolling social media? Honestly, you have to ask yourself. What's more important? Avoiding a few minutes of exercise or potentially transforming your sex life and relationship?
That really puts it in perspective. And long term, does it require that intense 15, 20 minutes forever? Or does it become easier?
Much easier. Once you've built the strength and control over those 12 wits, maintenance is key, but it's simpler. Like 5, 10 minutes a day, maybe integrated into your morning routine like brushing your teeth. Over time, the control becomes more automatic, more refined. You might even start noticing you engage them naturally when sitting or lifting something. It becomes integrated. And remember those stats. 82.5% of men in that key study saw significant improvement in 12 weeks. Many noticed changes even sooner. It works.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, the big takeaway is that pelvic floor exercises are a real, science-supported, pretty accessible, and highly effective way for men to tackle premature ejaculation. The benefits go way beyond just time-boosting confidence, deepening intimacy, and even improving overall pelvic health.
Absolutely. So if this resonates with you, we really encourage you, try to put the skepticism aside and just give it a go. The only real cost is a bit of your time and consistency. No downsides, only potential upside. It could genuinely change things for you.
And if you're a partner listening, your support, your patience, that's invaluable. Maybe approach it as something you explore together for mutual benefit. We'll link to detailed exercise guides and the research if you want to dig deeper.
Just remember this, great sex isn't just luck. It's often a skill you can build.
Yeah. This deep dive really shows it's not just about adding minutes. It's about taking control, building confidence, and laying the groundwork for a more satisfying, intimate life, potentially for years to come.